Hey guys, welcome on back to the AnKorage where everything is awesome. Skál. And we're going to be doing something with my Raspberry Pis today. So, quick review. This is my Raspberry Pi 2. This is the first one that I ever bought. And that was back in 2017, like the very beginning. The purpose for it? I was helping a developer with the user testing of Minecraft server software of sorts, but from an administration standpoint, a web panel. So I did testing for him, and so I got the software for free. But after it came out, I paid for it, and then I went nuts on it. I bought 3 more that were Raspberry Pi 3s, and this is one of them right here. So, it's the size of a credit card. It's called a single board computer, runs Linux, things of that sort. And I had 3 instances of this software for different purposes of my Minecraft use of sorts. Excuse me. And then after Microsoft did their hostile takeover of Mojang, I ended my involvement with Minecraft. So that left me with 3 Raspberries. I had to replace one of them, which was this one, because the power connector, which is a micro USB, it's loose. I can fix it. It's not that difficult, but I needed something fresh right away, so I just bought another one. It was 35 bucks. That was it. So, and then I had another one that I replaced for the same reason, but I gave that to a relative so they could do something with it in particular, which is, well, I've got 3 of them inside of here. Of those 3, 2 of them, the first couple, which are the ones in the center, 2 and 3, are very simple file servers. Now their performance is not that great because they're simple. They're USB 2 equivalent in performance. So I don't do anything major with sizes of files and stuff like that. I use them to send files, to hold files, and when I go between my Linux machine, which is what we see up on the screen right now, and my Windows machine, which is where I do all my video editing. So, and then I had the 4th one here, number 1. That was used on the TV behind me. We go like that. There we go. That's a YouTube video of a fire in a fireplace. Just because it's nice, I like it, whatever. It was being used for an OSMC instance, Open Source Media Center, that used Kodi so I could play my movies on my TV. That was it. But then I realized, well, I use a Roku. I've got an Ultra, and I can plug a hard drive into it. So I bought a hard drive and threw everything onto that and plugged straight into the Roku. Solves that problem. No need for that. So I put it over here, and it's been sitting there ever since, and it's been over there for over a year, and it hasn't been used for anything. That's where we're coming into this video. And then number 4, the 4th one, is because I've got it slotted like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3B plus 333. So the 3s were the Minecraft servers. So the 4th one, which is a 3, that is my Pi-hole instance to block ads, tracking, things of that sort, at the network level. So whenever anything comes in through the router, which is this guy right here, it goes into there, and then it gets diverted to there, and gets filtered, and then it goes out to the separate machines. So there we go. So I've got that. So what am I going to do with this 3B plus? Well, like the title is talking about, we're going to do some mining. And I happen to use the Minecraft font a little bit because, it's a play on the name mine. So we're going to be doing something regarding crypto. Now, Raspberry Pis are single board computers, little simple ones. We've got a couple up on the space station for different things. They can be used for many different things. You can use them for DNS servers. You can use them as weather stations. You can use them as kind of, sort of a desktop computer. The better one today from the Raspberry Pis, like that. And but I don't have the resources nor the desire to do any projects that would require any of that. So I'm happy with these. So I'm going to try to do stuff with these. I haven't had a project for the 3B Plus since I stopped using it initially, and now I do. So I'm sitting there. I tried to do let's say like Freedom Box, which is different web services and stuff like that, but I can't really. It's not. It's not really kind of turnkey, but also kind of sort of is. But what the services provide, there's way too many services out there that I cannot use, so there's no point in doing it. And not to mention that there's a couple of services that could be done using Freedom Box that I can already do on this thing. So on my LMDE box, Linux Mint Debian Edition. So we're going to be turning that Raspberry into a crypto miner, just for it to have something to do. I don't have any specific need for it, stuff like that, and I'm going to be doing crypto mining. What kind of crypto? I'm going to be doing Monero in particular, and I went out and I found a YouTube video, and I'm going to be using the instructions from that video, and I'm going to try to link it down below. And so it appeared to be very simple to do, but knowing me, and anything I do in this stuff, there's always a screw up at some point. So what I did leading into this was, they're like, we got to have a Pi. I've got one there. You have to get Raspberry Pi OS installed. Or I did that. And I did my, I ran all the updates already, so that's all good. And then I went in and I changed my my Bash RC, so when I first fire it up, I get my, identifying data of sorts how I want to do it. There's some stuff on there that I don't want to be displayed. I did that on the file servers and on the Pi-hole one. The names I've given all these four of these, going from left to right: CoWoS, Aurora, Uppsala, and Gefion. So there we go. I've gone over the descriptions in the past on these and the reasons why and stuff like that. But we are going to be coming down here, and what I did was I've had a separate OBS installation build of sorts on my Linux Mint Debian Edition machine, so which takes up both of these monitors. The Windows machine is only on this one because I have no need for it to be on two monitors. However, on Linux Mint, I do need two monitors. Well, it's nice. I use it, and I'm going to be utilizing this monitor for this demonstration, and because I'm going to have OBS up on this thing, but I'm going to do what I can and do everything on this monitor. So why don't we take a quick moment, shift everything around, and get started? Okay, so here we are on Solaria, on that second monitor, one to the right, and we are going to kind of sort of get started right away on this. So I've already opened up my terminal, and here it is right here. Don't mind the narrowness of it. That's just my own personal setup, stuff like that. This isn't usually pulled up on this monitor. It's usually on monitor 1, but
in either sense. So what we have to do is that we SSH into the Raspberry. So that is done by the command of SSH space pi at, and then the address, or the username. You can set up your own username when you're setting up Raspberry Pi OS, but I just use pi. It's just easier. So, and then you have to throw in the password. So I'm going to throw mine in here. Of course, it crapped out on me. So let's try this again. All right, so pull that over like that. There we go. Okay, so we are now in COAS. So this section here, I can get rid of this. I've done it with Aurora, Uppsala, and Geffen, but I forget how to get rid of it. I'll take care of that later. And of course, then I've got my bash RC, which pulls up a excuse me. Sorry about that. That was my primary doctor. I have an appointment on Thursday for a wellness check, and the computer's saying, "Hey, pre-check in, use our kiosk, use our QR codes." No QR codes. Anyways, back onto this. I got my bash RC file customized with a text file that's got all of this data here. So it always displays that because I'm special and I kind of sort of know what I'm doing. All right, so and I've got my customized prompt right there. So there we go. So the first thing that we want to do is, which I've already done, was I ran all of my updates and stuff like that. I am going to run it one more time. Now I happen to use Nala in particular. So, of course, it's not a capital S. Sudo Nala update. So use sudo Nala update when you're using Nala, stuff like that. However, I'm going to be doing it per the instructions. So we'll just let Nala run its thing. Everything's up to date. That's fantastic. I'm going to clear it. If I can spell it right. Come on. There we go. Returns us up to the top. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to there, and I'm going to get the first instruction. Now I'm going to be doing this specifically in the order and instructions that are given by the individual on the video. So we are going to do a sudo apt-y, which is update. So this is going to update the repository catalog. So we're going to let that run. Technically, this should be, all up to date and whatnot. See what it says. And yeah, everything's up to date. Okay. So the next instruction is to actually upgrade. Well, everything is up to date, so there's nothing to upgrade, but per the instructions, I'm going to be doing the same thing. That, of course, nothing to do. Okay, so now what we need to do is the next instruction, which is this one. Sudo apt install git build essential cmake lib uv blah, 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 blah. This is going out to get stuff from Git. Or we need to install a Git piece of software. Something to that effect. So I'm going to go out and install that. And the last indicator on that instruction was a -y, meaning don't bother asking me yes or no. Go ahead and just install it. So that's what that's doing. So we're going to let that happen. Okay, now that is done. So now what we need to do is we need to clone a particular thing. So, all right, we're going to use Git to clone this xmrig git. So what that is in particular, I don't know off the top of my head, but it says to do it. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to clone it. Okay, that's done. All right, so now what we need to do is change our directory. we're going to change the directory to the XM rig. All right, so we're in XM rig. So now what we need to do is we need to make a directory. So I'm going to copy that. Here's the command for that, which is mkdir build. So we're making a directory named build. So that's done. And now we're going to go into it. cd build, change directory to build. See that we're in build now. So now we're going to do this cmake. So we are going to copy that. So cmake, while we're making something, all right, it's talking about the C compiler, so it has to do with C, I assume. All right, so that's done. So now we are going to just flat out make. All right, that finished up, and I stopped and let it go because I got called for, asked if I was going out, and I'm like, yeah, sure, bring me a coffee. Well, I asked if she wanted a coffee. It was Freya. But I'm back, and here we are, and we can see that everything is all done, and it's done. So it does take a little while for this part of it. And based on my instructions, this was the portion that actually creates the miner. So, if I can get myself back to it, everything. Yep, so now we need to kick off the miner. So, we're actually going to start mining. And I'm going to copy that. Okay, I'm going to bring this back over. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to clear this. Yeah, if I can get on to the right one to clear it. There we go, we cleared it. And now I'm going to kick it off. I'm in the build. I'm going to back out. I'm going to get back to my home directory. And that I am there. Of course, I can double check. Yeah. All right. I am in my home directory. So there we are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clear it again. And I am going to punch in this command here, which is the command to kick off the miner. And it involves many different things, including this long section here. This long one, that's the account number, but this is my own personal one. So as far as the one for the channel, I'll try to remember to put that down below. If anybody wishes to provide any donation of Monero to me, I'll have that thing there. Just send it to that address. And we're going to hit enter here. All right, we are... That's not working. Oh. Alright, I got it all figured out and everything like that. Something that the video, I don't recall him mentioning, but in order to kick off the miner, you have to be in the build directory. So, as you can see it right here. And then, of course, because it's me, totally because it's me, connections are refused. And it's giving me all zeros from the IP and stuff like that. What could that be? That could possibly be because of Pi-hole, which I think is absolute. It shouldn't be like that. Anything that's originated from me should be allowed out. That's my thought. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Pi-hole, see if this shows up in there anywhere, and should it, I'll make adjustments accordingly and try this again. All right, well, I went into Pi-hole. Let's bring it over here. Of course. It brings it back. Let's bring it over. Went into Pi-hole and I came over to tools or domains or what was it? What was I on? Let's see. Okay, blocking. I shut off blocking temporarily. So I've got a 5-minute timer on it right now. And as we can see, it's going through. It's working just fine. So yeah, it's blocking. So what I need to do is I need to put in an exception for this. So I need to try to figure out where that is and give this another whirl. So we'll do that. All right, so my update is, well, what I did was I cleared out, got it up back up to the top, and initially tried to do it while I had blocking enabled, just to verify that it was actually not allowing it, and it confirmed it wasn't allowing it, so I cleared it out again, and I did a disable of all blocking for 10 seconds, and then I was able to kick it off, and it was kicked off, and then after that 10 seconds, I came back over and checked it, and it's got the mining is active. All right, so I have an update, and what I did was I cleared out the screen. I cleared this out, got it back to the top. I'm like, all right, let's re-enable blocking on Pi-hole. Did that. Came back over, tried to kick it off just to verify that it was blocking, and it was. So I did that, and so then I cleared it out again, got back up to the top, and then I went into Pi-hole and told it to stop blocking for 10 seconds. Came back over, kicked it off, and there it was. And it's working. So it's, you know, it did its, you know, stopped blocking for 10 seconds, re-enabled, and it's blocking again. And the connection is still being held. And those little thweeps you hear, that's just my desktop audio. I'm going to mute that. So you won't hear it now. So there we go. And as we see the progress going on, we can see it mining. So what are the things that we could do to actually see what's going on? Well, if we look up here where it says commands, you could hit H to see what the hash rate is. You can P to pause it, R to resume, S to see the current results, C to see the connection. So that's what I was doing. So I'm going to bring this back over here. Look at the connection. That's the connection right now. That's the live connection. And I'm going to hit S to see any current results. No results yet. That's because it hasn't successfully mined anything. So I'm going to let this go for a little bit. And we'll come back in a little while and we'll see what's going on. Okay, I let it go for a little bit, and sorry, I just came back from a long pause, and it started to block it again on its own. So as you can see, I got these connection refused up here and stuff like that. So I went into Pi-hole and I whitelisted gulf.moneroocean.stream, and I waited few seconds or so, and the new job down here. So that hinted to me that the connection was reestablished, and I hit C and I got the results from that, and yeah, the connection's good and it's going. So that seems to be working all right. So I'm going to pause right here and I'll be right back. Alright, while it's mining, I want to kind of see how heavy this thing is actually working. So what I'm going to do is I am going to fire up another instance into here. Pop that there. And you know, I want to see the temperature of it, and I can pull that up real quick. It is in my bash RC file. I haven't actually looked at that, so why don't we go into that. Of course, the RC. I have it commented out down at the bottom, so I am going to uncomment this. I'm going to copy that. Yeah, I thought I could. Yeah, but neither sense. I'm going to save that. I'm going to exit and then relaunch it. I mean, that over. All right, we are going to. All right. Okay, the temperature is currently 43.5 degrees. So it's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just going to do a quick. Where am I at? There. Sure, we'll bring this over. 43.5 F to D to F. B to States. Okay, 110 and 0.3 degrees. All right. So it's working. It's working hard, but nothing outrageous. So, okay. There we go. So if I wanted to see what else is going on, I could go into HTOP. So, but I don't like this one very much. Ugh. Yeah, it's capped out. All the cores are capped out at 100%. That's fine. MDA tasks for running. Uptime 16 hours, because yeah, that's when I started up this. That's the last time I rebooted it. But I don't see the temperatures. Memory, CPU, time. I'm going to install BTOP onto this, but that's a separate thing. That's a separate video. Oh, but there we go. Oh, we can kind of see the activity that's going on in here right now. Do that so they can see everything. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? All right. So it's going pretty good. Since I last checked, it hasn't accepted anything, so it's still mining. Still running on the hash rate. I'm curious on the hash rate. Let's see what that's listed at. Oh, no. 10, 60. Okay, it looks like about 13 about 13 and a half hashes per second. That's not too bad. So there we go. All right, now what I want to do is, now this is just me, but I want this to run and not happen to have this terminal instance up and running all the time. However, it is possible that may not be possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to close it now, and then I am going to fire up a fresh instance of the terminal, get into that Raspberry. I'm going to log back in. Here we are. And if we look right off the bat on the temperature, it's down to 39. It was up to 43, but that's when it was busy. Now watch this. Let's go to HTOP. See this? Nothing is going on, which means the mining job was complete. Well, it wasn't complete, but it was terminated. So that's that. So what we need to do is we need to go back to of course, is we need to actually get back to that. So we need to go to CD XM rig to build, and then we'll kick off that miner again. So you over and paste you here, and off we go. All right. And don't worry about that RandomX. Not enough memory for RandomX data set. That's whatever's, that there. It's still getting prepped up to go. Bring that. And let's see, let's get another instant of the connection. And we're going to HTOP. And we can see all of the cores. They're capped out. So they're going. They're ready. And it says new job. So it's kicking off another job. So there we go. So what this tells me is that, okay, when mining, you have to have a terminal session active. So for the length of time that you're mining, that terminal session needs to be running. Does it have to be up like this all the time? No, it can be minimized. So, and if you want to bring it back up, you just go like that and you can see how it's doing. So there we go. Yeah. So for folks that want this to do things and not have to have the terminal up and running, unfortunately, no. The terminal session has to be running. Otherwise, it's the Pi is just going to be booted up and not doing anything. So my suggestion is open it, kick off the mining, and then you just minimize it. That's the best thing that I can recommend. So there we go. All right, so there we go. We are mining Monero on a Raspberry Pi 3, and yeah, all the processors or the cores are all decked out, but that's only because of that's the process flow. It's hammered 100%. It's at that 110 degrees, whatever. The Raspberry Pi 3 is only capable as a max of 5 watts, so that's pretty acceptable. Stuff like that. Am I going to be mining a whole lot of Monero as a result? No problem. Most likely not, but it's something. A little something's better than nothing. And I'm currently watching my wallet through my Monero GUI to see if I can it's actually syncing up with the database and whatnot. It is all synced up, but last I checked, it wasn't. So I've got it running in the background. I've got the GUI itself shut down, but it is running in the background, so that's fine. Let that run, and I'm just gonna play with it, stuff like that. I'll do my little tweaks. I'll get BTOP in there, so I can actually see temperatures a lot better. I don't have to use that command all the time. I can comment that out of -rc, stuff like that. But excuse me. But that's basically it. And it is that simple to get Monero mining going on a Raspberry Pi. It's just a few commands, up to maybe 30 minutes to allow it to do its thing, stuff like that. Then you kick it off and just let it go. And minimize it to the taskbar, and it'll just go. It will resolve puzzles of sorts, and you'll be rewarded with shares. Do I know exactly how much a share is worth? No, I don't. It's never been something for me to be concerned with, stuff like that. I'm curious about it, so now we'll go look. Is it a whole Monero? No, definitely not. It's a portion of a Monero. And in order to actually get Monero, you gotta mine it over and over for long periods of time. And its overall market value is not huge, but not Bitcoin. Ugh, that one is just outrageous. Monero is it's non-traceable. In effect, it's non-traceable, but you can figure stuff. The people that want to know, they can figure out what they want to know about somebody, stuff like that. But typically, on a typical day-to-day basis, it's no big deal, stuff like that. There's no public ledger like Bitcoin, so that one's a lot easier to track. So is Ethereum, all those big crypto outfits. stuff like that. Monero, not so much. So, but that is going to do it for this video. So if you happen to like this content, throw me a comment, ask a question if you wish, like it, subscribe it. We can get more of this fantastic content, and I am always here. So, I might be in the office occasionally, running around town, errands. Otherwise, I'm here. So there we go. So come on back in the future, and we'll see what else is going on. So thank you very much, and Skál, drink to victory, drink more of my water.